of this section. She told me, like many of us, she's going to get married, she's going to buy a house, she's going to go to grad school, having fun all the things without them. And this is the reality that many of us face as Muslims. It's all good that we have all the Quranic ayahs that we quote, all these hadiths, but real life happens. Kids, for those of our parents, kids need to go to college. People need to retire. Then, so how do we do this as Muslims? And these are some of the things, this is the section that we're talking about this. There are some myths that want to be debunked right here and right now. Things that we hear all the time on TV that is not possible the halal way, and perhaps some halal options that we have. One of them is that credit cards improve your credit score. Yes, it's true, but it's not like that. It's not that simple. Your credit score is determined by so many things. The biggest part is your payment history. How well do you pay? The other part is the capacity of your car. I like to describe that. You see, between those two things, your car capacity, and I'm going to explain that in a second, and your payment history, that's a 65% of your credit score. 65%. So this is how I like to describe your car capacity. Let's say you're going out and you need a ride to this place. And you see brother, sister, Tolu over there. And she says, do you want to hop into my car and take you? If the car is clean, the car is nice, it's the only car that is inside, what will stop you? Nothing. But if you go to my own car and I offer you a ride, and the car is like, the door feels like they want to fall off. And then I have all this material, they put like paper and stuff on the floor, like there's food all over the whole place. And then I now carry my mother and my mother's sister, and be like, perhaps not, let me just go with the car. So there's no room, the car is not clean, and it looks like we'll not get there in one piece. That's how a lot of us look to creditors. If you have too many things in your credit card, it's not going to help your credit score. In short, it's going to hurt you. As a general rule, make sure that by the time your business cycles end, and please, let's pay attention to this very well, because many of us miss it. This is when we misuse our credit cards. When your credit card cycles end for all your credit cards, make sure you haven't spent more than 30% of your limits. All your credit cards together. So let's say you have Capital One, the limit is 1,000. You have Bank of America, the limit is 2,000. Then you have American Express, the limit is 7,000. That means your total credit capacity is $10,000, right? By the 21st, when many of them will report your credit, everything you owe, all of them should not be more than $3,000. You shouldn't. There's a reason why you should be 18 before you get a credit card. It's a game that is for the smart and mature. It's not for children. If your credit is more than 3,000, that is 30% of your capacity. You are like that cat that has paper wrapper and too many people. There's too much noise. The use of credit cards then is going to hurt you. It's not going to help you. Because you are essentially too full. And this is a game that people who have never paid any finance charge before, like me, I've had credit card for 12 years, I've never paid anything. Because I will wait, immediately the thing closes on 21st, 22nd, I'm going to pay them, because I want to get my points. But by the time you are swiping it, and you don't have the cash to pay it back, you can't do that. In my budget, I download my credit card in there as well. Because I need to be sure that I'm keeping this thing up. If I travel for work, I put it there as well. Because eventually what will happen is that this credit card company, they will be pushing you and you don't know. You just wake up one day and say, we increase your credit limits. And then it's like they're helping you, but they're not helping you, they're hurting you. What they're trying to do is to get you to the point where that 30% is unattainable. You just can't. Things need to happen. You go to Samsung, the bill is $400. You people need to go to Nigeria, before you know what's happening, it's $3,000. Before you can even think, you are at 50% of capacity. Paycheck comes, you need to change your tires, before tires are bought. You can't think back. That way, the credit card is not helping you, it's hurting you. And the credit card companies, there are people whose job it is to put you in that situation. It's their job. They are the ones who send you emails in the morning and say, buy something and you can use your credit card for 30 days, no payment. That's why they get paid. So that you will get lured into this path of slavery. So you have to understand that credit card debt is not normal. 1 in 2 Americans don't have credit card debt. Don't worry about what they say, it's not true. The very wealthy people don't have it. Another myth that I want to debunk is that, if you want to become a homeowner, you need, you get all the money back in taxes and all this stuff. So what's the point? Let me see this. So I pay the government, I pay the bank $100 because I want to get 29 cents back. How does that make any sense? It's nonsense. So, do you think all the interest that you deduct is what you get back? No. So this whole is tax deductible. It's a whole lot of nonsense. You can't make your decision based on the fact that you're going to get money back from or the fact that you're giving the government interest-free loan. Why? Why do I want to give government interest-free loan? Why? Am I the Republican or Democrat? No. Another thing that we need to know is that they make it look like, oh, in America, everybody has a mortgage. No, it's not true. 1 in 3 American homeowners actually have no mortgage. So how do you get to the point where you can make this kind of decisions? How? We need, as Muslims, immigrants, Nigerians, to start thinking ahead. You can't wake up in 2015 and say, you know what, this year, what happened for the past 4 years? What happened? So you didn't think before that you wanted to buy a house. It's just this year, this year I'm going to hard. Since all this time, we're able to put money aside. We don't just wake up and do things. We need to start to think ahead and give yourself enough time to get there. And to explore, okay, so there are people who, they finish school, they want to buy a house. What is wrong with a group of 5 brothers buying a house together, their first house together? Nothing. You all put money down together, 15,000. All the hustles that you hustle while you're in college, and you now buy a house together, you get equity from there, and everybody goes their separate ways when they get married. What is wrong with that? Whoever said that it has to be a certain kind of way? What is wrong with you buying a $50,000 house? Whoever said that it has to be a single family home in Kutume? Whose definition is it? The problem is that we are allowing other people to define for us who we should be. And that's why we get into trouble. That's why I thought to myself, I saw myself in a 4-bedroom, 3.5-bath house, 2-car garage, and I thought, hey, wait, there's something wrong with this. Why am I here? I'm on the plane half of the time. Why am I not in a studio apartment where they collect my mail, they do my things for me? We have to look, who am I? What do I need? And also eventually realize that when it's all said and done, the only home that is assured is 6 feet under the ground. When I went home and I saw my dad when he was buried, I'm like, oh my God. He just hit me. I'm like, my dad has at least 8 properties. And he's just right here. Just here. That's it. So, we have to put things in perspective. It's very important. That perspective is key. And the perspective is what will make you, chill out on some of the decisions that won't work for you. So I used to live in a very nice house, the residences. I think she used to live there when I was living there. Every time I was driving to the residences at night, I was going to say, hey, this is so nice. You know, they had fountain at night. As I'm driving over there, this is where I should live. Until one day, I was driving, I was busy admiring the house. He died. They wouldn't allow them to bury me here. Honestly, the smile left my face immediately. I was like, you better not be fantasizing over something that your teeth up is over. Not over some or no. And if something happens, it will be every time on the plane and the plane wants to jump down thinking if I die inside the workhouse. You have to put things in perspective. What you have, you know, some of us were so vain. You get home, this is me. You know, we just look at ourselves. Look at my shoes, look at my life. It's nothing for a Muslim. Because as that ayah, Allah said in Surah Imran about how, you know, He's the one who can provide something that will satisfy us for a little while. A little while. My dad, when he died, who knows that they were there about the musician? When he came to the house, he started to cry. He said my dad already booked him for his 70th birthday, which is next year. Since my dad turned 65, he's been telling us about that 70th birthday. That number one, we must all buy him an SUV. And number two, we must all come together, whether we like it or not, because he's having a party in the town square. His 69th birthday, he was sick in the hospital. They had prayers in the house without him even being there. So, you know, we plan all these things. We make all these huge plans as if we're going to be here forever. But as Muslims, whether in America or in Nigeria, we need to have perspective. And that perspective is very critical. So another myth is that you can't afford a car without a car. I believe this one too when I finished grad school. I was just 1 year plus in America. I finished grad school, they had this program. Fresh graduates, bring your diploma, you get a car. No furniture. Yeah, exactly. Just bring your diploma and you're going to be okay. So which I took my diploma, hey. I went there, they gave me 8% financing. The car that was $7,000, eventually $12,000. Please tell me who's paying taxes. Is there anything that benefited me in that transaction? No. A car that was worth $7,000 and I ended up paying double the price. It makes no sense. Zero. After that car, every car I got money, I got a loan, and it was 0%. I wrote to the dealership, put 90% of the money down, and they will say, be going now, and change the rest. You can bring it when you like. And that's it. That's the reality of America. It's possible. It's very possible. The only thing you have to know is that financial transactions in America is not for the weak at heart. It's not, you know, they say, there was a quote I saw that the American dream is called a dream because it can only happen when you are sleeping. If you are sleeping there, it's just passing time. Somebody is planning for you. It's somebody's job to capture you and trap you into buying something that you don't want, that you don't need. People that went outside yesterday to go and buy, please tell me what it is that you are about to buy at 2 a.m. yesterday. As in what? I'm trying to just imagine how important it is. But they've made it so normal that if some people don't go, they will not think that thanks, they are giving thanks. My friend's husband and his friend, they went to Best Buy yesterday. They were there for 4 hours. So I asked them, said, clear one out. They said they bought a laptop. We bought a laptop. The two of you went and you're 4 hours. Okay, come on, para. They bought $10 laptop. But there are some people that will enter that place yesterday that will not be able to resist buying something that is just a mere $10 laptop. When they went in there, they had no plan. But the person that came out with $10 adapter is the lucky one. Somebody will enter there and come out with a 50-inch TV yesterday that he didn't plan. You just think, look at this TV. It used to be 2,000, 500, 999. This is the deal. And what we done, then what? So, okay, this is another very important one. And this happened to me because I had 2 years old. So I was coming to America, and I wanted to go to a top 25 business school. And if you go to the MBA, better make sure you go to a top 25 business school. So I wanted to go to a very nice school. I went to Emory, $18,000 a semester, not small money. But if somebody was to do it again right now, you know what I would do differently? I will go back, sit my butt down and study hard for the GMAT and get 750 so that people will pay me to come to school. Because I'm black, I'm a woman, I'm wrapped around my head. School is free. They will pay. Because they want people like me in their school to make them look like diversity. So why shouldn't they pay me? For those who are considering business school, there's a graduate management consortium. Is for Hispanics and blacks who want to go to business school. Membership is very exclusive to about 18 business schools. Yale, Harvard, Emory, Cornell, very select schools. You know why they don't open up for that? They don't want, there's a certain pool of black people that are going to business school. Only a small pool. And they want to reject it by themselves. So they don't allow other schools to join. So you come in, once you are in the consortium, they pay your entire school fees. The only condition is that you are black or Hispanic. Hey, don't see anybody that's not black here. Other options. How about getting your employer to pay? Okay, maybe I might not go full-time, maybe I'll do executive MBA. That's fine, as long as someone else is paying. These things they require strategy. And many times, for us, we don't sit down and specifically plan how to go to college without paying a cent. I had a girl on my show, she's from Ghana. She said she went to college and she came out with 0 student loan. She's been in America since she was in high school. She said, I didn't get anything. I walked and I went to community college for a while. People try all sorts of things. Education, as I have learned after I went through it, is not a loan qualifying expense. It's not. It's not. I don't care where you go. Harvard, wherever. It's not. Because when it's all said and done, then what? It's accountants, we call it sunk cost. It's done. It's gone. Then you now wake up one day. One guy is your boss. He only went to community college. But because he's Oyibo, he's now on top there. That's how it is. What will you do? And you are still struggling with debt. So we need to, for many of us that are here, we've already gone to college, it's done, it's gone. But we're thinking of grad school. I'll say be strategic. If you want to do a PhD, I know the business world, KPMG PhD project, every year they keep asking me to come. Just come. Come and attend the conference in Chicago and tell us, like, you a black person want to do PhD, we will pay anything you want. These things exist in America. Because we're only, I think less than 2% of Americans have advanced degrees. So now think about it, 2% have advanced degrees. Then how many of that 2% is black? How many? So they need you as much as you need them. And sometimes all we have to do is ask. When I said I went to University of Oxford for a course last month. When they told me the amount of the course, I said, I don't have the money. I don't have all that money. They said, okay, they give me £1,000 off income. I said, okay, we're now talking. Ask. The worst they can say is no. I asked and they gave me, a discount, and I went. The people that were there, they know that me, I collected discount. No. So let's stop hiding and feeling like, oh, I don't want to be looked at as a beggar. It's okay. Look at me like a beggar. I know what I'm looking for. I don't want to be owing people. Imagine somebody dying and their family have to pay their student loans. Are you sure they will want the person? So how can we align our dreams? How can? So there's the American dream and there's the Jannah dream. For those who are interested, you know what I said my Jannah dream is? That for the Prophet to introduce me to the companions. That's the way you don't know how. That's my own dream. What's your own dream? And oftentimes we think that those two dreams cannot exist side by side. And that's a lie. They can't. The only thing is you have to understand that you're Muslim first and foremost. And when there's a conflict, which one takes precedence? I like this, we always say in our classes, if you think about this ayah very well, and the ayah that follows it, that the person to call upon is Allah. The person to call upon is Allah, to know that Allah has got your back. Who else can? Is it Obama that they want to impeach him so into court? Or John Boehner, the winner, who? But Allah says that He has us on that He's okay. That anything you want, ask Him, call Him by any of His names. They are beautiful. When I came back on Thursday, I had, in fact, Oregon is the allergy capital of the world. And I went to the pharmacy. I said, please, I can't find Sudafed on the counter. They said, this is also the meth capital of the world. It's prescription strength alone. That's fine. So I came back and I could hardly talk. I couldn't really talk. I was like sick. And this guy was texting me, hey, reminder of your program on Saturday. I was like, try to put this guy in, I can't even talk. But you know what I did? I just asked Allah in my heart. I said, Allah, will I be there on Saturday? And wallahi, Allah speaks to us and we just have to be still to listen. And He said He will be there. And I said, okay, no wahala. Yesterday I just stayed, if you call me yesterday, I didn't pick up my phone. I just stayed, I slept, I ate, and today I can talk. So we have to trust Allah. We have to trust Him. I know that if He promises something, if He says in the Quran that He will not let our good deeds be lost, He's not joking. And again, let me go back to my dad's death. At least on the day of his funeral, people came and they were talking about how many masjids He built in their town, build this masjid, build that masjid. People came, they said all the old people in the town were crying in the village because He put them on a salary of 5,000 per month. And their grandchildren was paying their school fees. He used to tell us when he was alive that we cannot give him money because we won't give him money, we start from $500,000. Thank God. But by the time his PA sent me his monthly obligation, I was like, it's not possible. But also my dad, he was a party person. He would drink the beer and just shut it down. As if he enters the party, put him at the back, say, where is that the Sonia Day sand? And Allah made a promise that if you build masjid, I'll do this. If you do this, I'll do this. But at the same time, you have vices. So when he was sick, I told him, I said, if you die right now, I will not be sad. Even though I'm outside. But I said, I will not be sad because I can see that Allah is cleansing you of those things that you did. And He is now saying, I will not honor my promise to you. but you will go through this. So we have to trust Allah. We have to trust Him in our heart and know when we're doing this 3-day prayer, something that never in Lagos happens to me. If you see me in Lagos, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, if I'm not inside a car that has AC, I will be frowning like there's something wrong. It will be very hot. That day, we sat down, we were reading the Quran, close to the graveside, and there was just this breeze that was just blowing. And honestly, the only thing I could think of was Salamu Kaula. I was just thinking, I was like, I started envying him. I started envying my dad. I was like, if I can be half the person that he was, then I would have lived. If people can be reading Quran for me third day and they can be feeling this tranquility, that it is something Allah is saying. And as we were reading the Quran that day, Allah was saying, do you not trust your father with me? Do you know? That kept coming to my mind. So for many of us, what are we doing? What are we doing? Because we're in America, so what? In America, you will die. You're in Nigeria, you will die. That's the short thing. I always say, people say, Nigerian healthcare is bad. I say, let me tell you something. If you're in Nigeria and you are sick, you will die. If you're in America and you are sick, you will die. What will kill you in Nigeria? The healthcare system is bad. What will kill you in America is the video. So, the best thing is just don't be sick. Just, keep going. So, there is no place where we are in this world that the shade of Allah is not upon us. And we must invest in things that He loves, such that when He makes a promise to you that somebody will happen. I always say one thing. There is nothing, however plenty, that I want to use money for that I don't get. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. If I want to go to Dominican Republic, I'll just put it in my calendar. And I'll start praying about it. And somehow somebody just come, do you want to come and teach this class here and collect this money? That money will come. We have to get to the point where we trust Allah to provide for our needs. Because that ayah that I showed at the beginning where He was saying that we don't know what we'll earn tomorrow, only He knows. We can plan and plan and plan. There was a doctor, a very successful surgeon in Canada, my friend's uncle. He built a mansion in Elisha. He didn't get there. He never saw it. And people who have been there say the house is huge, big. What's going to happen to him? They'll make it a museum. He died in Canada and was buried there. So we must always align our dreams. And how do you align your dreams? As human beings, I don't know about you guys, but me, I'm very weak. If I'm not happy, the first place I go is the mall. I want to just buy something sharp. If I'm in the airport and I'm having a long layover, I'll just be looking around buying things. That's how we are as human beings. Everybody has a drug. Your drug of choice might just be different. But once you know your drug of choice, you will know the medicine for it. Me, I know my drug of choice is to buy things, so you will not see me with my credit card in my purse. You won't. But in my budget every month, I have a certain amount that is tagged anything Tope wants. So my boss just annoyed me. I'm in a union station. I see this booth. One day my boss annoyed me. I told him I bought it. It's going to the category of anything Tope wants because my boss just made me mad. So I leave room for the day I just feel irritated. But it's very important to pick good company. The company of good people. One of my classmates in England, he came to America maybe like 10 years ago. I was still riding my 2001 Toyota Corolla CE that you wind down. So I went to pick him to take him out. So he said, Tifaj, I'm more than this. You know the thing just opening on the I was like, I'm really more than this, so tough. I said, well, who graduated top in my class? Who can come from Nigeria to oppress me? I said, are you entering or you're not entering? buy a house. You're the one who knows what you are looking for. So what people think that you are not up to them, that's their own problem, not yours. Another thing that we have to think about that as Muslims, we are hustlers. And let me face the men when I say this. I don't see Muslim men hustling enough. Guys, which one, you know, Abdurrahman ibn Auf, you know him, right? When they got to Medina, what did he say? They said, someone said, let's give you God, let's give you wife. He said, no, show me what the market is. Dude was making money. So, what happens to the rest of us here? You know, I'm speaking at the Empire Convention in Lagos next Saturday, inshallah. And I'll be talking about one person. Mansa Musa of Mali. Yeah, Divan Gold. They did a study in 2012 of the past 1,000 years who the richest man was, and it was this guy. And he's a Muslim. So, and he died in 1330 something. So where are we getting our own precedents from? These were Muslims. They said that when the guy was going to Hajj, he crashed the price of gold because he was giving gold to everybody on the road. That he took 12,000 slaves and 60,000 people in his entourage. But when you think about him today, you know what he did? The masjid, they say he built the masjid every Friday. And many of them are still standing. The University of Timbuktu, he built it. It's still standing. The title of the talk I'll be giving next week, inshallah, is How to Create and Sustain Wealth. Tell me how many years ago this man died. And see, the university, the research is still happening. The masjid, people are still praying there. He has spent more time in the ground than he spent above the ground. But his investments are doing what? Working. And that's what we need to think about. How many masjids have I built? How many? Zero. So the thing to know is that to change our mentality. I like how the Ramsey said it best. It's not about technicality to change, to manage money well. It's behavior, it's in your head. When you start thinking, I need something, I must have something, you know, I have to have, there's nothing you have to have apart from air to breathe, and that's free. Nothing, absolutely nothing. If somebody told me that I was able to live in a studio, me from a, think about it, 3 levels, 4 bedrooms, see all the stuff I had. And now I live in a studio. I didn't even think my things would fit. But one day, when I was back, I said, so this thing, I haven't used it since I gave it away. I gave out so many of my things. Because we're the ones who make life so complicated for ourselves. It's not that hard. It's just not that hard. So I talked about, you know, cable TV,